I used to love Destiny 2. I want to establish a time period here. I came to Destiny shortly after giving up on Overwatch content creation back in February of 2023. To put that in terms you'd understand, that's the ending like 2 weeks of Season of the Seraph. And I've been playing almost every single day since then. And although many would say the game was already chalked at that time period and blah blah blah, you could feel a love in the community, a fire to get better, and you could tell that people genuinely enjoyed it. The passion was there, whether you were a meta crutch or not, there was something for you. I for sure wasn't the best player. I'm still trying to climb out of the KD hole I put myself in a year and some later. But there was joy. For me personally, Destiny was a breath of fresh air. Although I played it a little here and there before, so many new concepts were right at my doorstep. And on a business level, and I guess you could call my channel a business, my very first Destiny video was my highest viewed video to this date. So you could say there was some incentive to grind the game. I wish to be clear here. This will not be an anti-Bungie or anti-devs in general video. If you've been in some turbo negativity spiral and you want to flesh out your opinions, this video will do nothing for you. This video is merely a staple of my thoughts and opinions as a semi-new, very competitive player and creator in the space. Okay, let's talk. Let's start it off with a bang and talk about the PvP. Destiny 2's PvP is literally incomparable. There's simply no other game that can hold a candle to the sandbox of Destiny. The dopamine you get for 3-tapping someone, for 1v3ing, for hitting that crazy clip, the whole hand cannon thing in general is iconic to the Destiny franchise, other than maybe Cassidy from Overwatch. But to match the highs, there are really bad lows. The shotgun and melee whiffs, the ability spam, that weird thing that happens when you slide up a slope and you're invisible to the other player. I could go into server tick rate issues, or the imbalancing of certain abilities, weapons, and exotics, or maybe how the average engagement is just a long drawn out range duel that you might have an inherent disadvantage to based on perks and builds. That last part is where I'd start fixing the PvP. This game feels boring because nobody moves anymore. The average player is so afraid of being called a gym that they protect their KDs like it's religion. It's frankly agonizing sitting in range dueling for 3 to 6 hours a day. The worst part is for what? Why are you trudging through mud matches? Another adept weapon you won't use because you have every version of every weapon you'd want to use? KD? The love of the game? I don't know. I'm literally fishing for reasons here. Speaking of the same weapon, there's literally no point to grinding a weapon or armor as you practically have it already. Or there's another near alternative that requires 0 grinding. You remember how happy you were when you got a Godroll Rose or Matador? Maybe when you finally got Ascendant for the first time? Or when that funny little medal that's literally titled "We ran out of medals" popped up on your screen? The joy isn't there anymore. My friend 40 got a God roll, genuinely 5 out of 5, Krimel's dagger, and my live unfiltered response was nice. Well, PvP for me took some polarizing turns. When I first came to the game, holy, I hated it. It was dull, it felt monotonous, it was just slow and boring. You're shooting AIs, who cares, right? It didn't help that I didn't have many friends to do PvE with and that I wasn't that great at it. Then, randomly, for a period of time, I took it very seriously. I cared for the pinnacle of damage. I wanted to solo carry things, and boy oh boy, you know I was trying to solo anything I could touch. Depending on the time, you better bet I was on Starfire or Sunbracers, Liar's Handshake, or Orpheus, and now Consecration. My star, my guiding moonlight. Let me back to the topic at hand. And now I'm back to not wanting to play it. Only thing I want, heavy quotations, is from raids, and I still don't have that many friends, and I am not LFGing. But the problem is, whatever the item is, it's still a want. Maybe I could use a critical anomaly, but I also have Eye of Soul. Maybe I need a Zioles, but I have a Pakul. And oh man, that Vex Mythic class looks scrumptious, but also, no. As a content creator, it's a weird spot. The casual player cares less about that game and isn't as interested in watching it. Therefore, viewership is low. And since that core casual player base isn't there, player count is low. So that leaves the content I can do and what the content looks like in a very narrow scope. On one hand, I get sweatier games and I can post those and market it to the competitive players, yippee. On the other hand, it tanks my morale playing straight wannabes and turbo carriers over and over and over again. I simply cannot use a funny gun or try something new because I'll get matched with someone on their second cup of coffee and the weight of the world on their shoulders. Hence why a lot of my newer content has been around meta this and meta that, and that can get stale. Of course, I have to address the elephant in the room. I am contemplating leaving Destiny 2 altogether. This is a hard decision for a couple of reasons. Truthfully, I love Destiny 2 and a lot of the community. The support I've been shown and the friend group I've made is more than precious to me. I've switched games before, and most of the time it didn't go well. I could honestly challenge you to try and find some Dead by Daylight footage of me, and that should tell you all you need to know about how that switch went. And starting in Apex and only getting any attention because a bigger content creator posted a clip of me, you could say I wasn't finding much success. This is the first place where what I tried actually stuck. But it feels like a sinking ship. And so many passengers that boarded way before me have already jumped off. Mind you, some of them have found wonderful success. I've been following a content creator named Izanami, and man, I am proud of that guy. He don't even know me, but I love him. But some have absolutely bombed. But can I even bomb? Am I even big enough to matter if I stay or switch? Where would I go? No games interest me like D2 does. Maybe they could if I tried, but I can't even do anything else without something in the back of my head yelling at me for being unproductive. And if I do enjoy it and I don't find an audience, it would crush me. I haven't broken free of the numbers game that content creators fall into. I'm not going to make the 9 to 5 versus streaming argument, but I will say that unlike a 9 to 5 that has maybe raises or promotions or human interactions and camaraderie, you know, those little bits of reassurance that you're doing something worthwhile, content creation is just go do it. If it pops, yippee. If it fails, hope the next one pops. And that is so disheartening. Don't think of me like the Buzz Lightyear meme where there's a bunch of buzzes on the shelf and nobody is different, but I only want to do content creation. Like seriously, I only want to do this. I have no other aspirations career-wise, and everything else looks so gray in comparison. So going from a semi-consistent couple thousand views a video to a probably a couple hundred if I'm lucky, you can understand my pause. But what will I do? I've asked myself this a lot. Do I give up? Do I switch or stay? Maybe I just try super hard and wait for the game to die and go to whatever the next big game is at the time? That way, hopefully I can get a following and don't have to make a hard decision. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing fine and I just have to keep going. I honestly don't have an answer yet. I don't see clarity in any of the issues I labeled here in this video. And I don't see big weights tied to any of the answers that I labeled in this video. And since I'm being very vulnerable here, I'm scared. To wrap this all up, I'm indifferent about the game and indifferent about the future of my channel. I don't wish to dishearten people and bring down the mood, but I feel I need to stop smiling and waving whenever I'm struggling internally. And I hope that this is a healthy alternative to that. And of course, this is still a video. I'm going to ask that you like and subscribe. And I hope to see you in my next one, whether that's Destiny 2 or not. I love you, and remember to smile.
You made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching this. I really want to be a YouTuber. I've had the quintessential dreams about it, the daydreams of meeting other YouTubers and playing with them. I really think it's an achievable goal, and I would enjoy it a lot if I actually got there. So I'm gonna put my all into this channel. I'm gonna try my hardest to become something that people want to watch. Like, I know I'm not the greatest right now. I know I'm not funny. I know I mumble, but I'm working to fix these things. And you being here and just watching the video means that at least I did something right. That gives me hope, I guess.